over following stalled negotiations. Now, these negotiations stem from different viewpoints, with the £60 million loan or debt that Derby County are owing being a major factor as well in his attempts to purchase the club outrightly. There's also the price of £110 million to also get the prize, to also get the club amongst buying other shares. But Mike Ashley, a prudent businessman, the chairman of Sports Direct, is confident of buying Derby County over, and you can just expect that if the deal goes through, you would see Derby County playing in the Premier League probably in the next 2-3 years. Let's move away from the Mike Ashley now and Derby County and talk about other sports quickly as we hit home stretch. And this time around, we'll delve into the Winter Olympics taking place in Beijing, where Britain's hopes of securing their first medals were dashed as their curling mixed doubles team lost to Sweden by 9-3 points, and this time around it was in the bronze medal match. Remember, they lost their semi-final matches and were looking to bounce back by winning the bronze medal, but the duo of Jen Dodds and Bruce Moat lost to Sweden by 9-3 points, as I said earlier, and it was a shocking start for the British duo as Sweden raced into a 7-1 lead after just 3 ends, and while Britain staged a minor comeback, it just couldn't be as Sweden wrapped it up. So there you have it, Britain still trying as much as possible to see if they can get their first medal of the Winter Olympic Games. The Games have been shrouded in various controversies, from the diplomatic boycotts of the West and the US as a result of human rights concerns in China to the allegations of victimization, talking about Chinese star Shui Peng, who accused former premier or vice premier of China, Zhao Gaoli, of sexual assault, and how the case had been handled, among other things. But the Games are on now, and we should see the best of Winter Olympics, or winter sports as it were, from skiing to snowboarding to snow crossing to cross country, so many of them, and we should expect the very best to win. We've seen some records. Let's see if more can be broken today and subsequent days. Now let's move over from there to the Chinese star I mentioned, Shui Peng. Just yesterday she granted an interview, or rather 2 days ago, I beg your pardon, she granted an interview to French newspaper L'Equipe, and that was as a result of concerns about her safety. It's the second interview, or rather the first interview she's granted to a Western paper, and that's as a result of concerns about her well-being. Well, let me go on this quick commercial break. When I return, we'll be talking about Shui Peng even as we wrap up the show. Please do stay tuned.
And fruits, when you reach house, you go wash, you go pound, your body go dey pain you, even your fingernails go dey pain you. But make una no worry, make una relax. I get good news for una. Una don hear Banga fresh palm fruit extract. All you need to do now, make you go for the open am. Take the amount wey you want, put am for your pot. Which soup you wan make? Shey na egusi, shey na ogbono, shey na vegetable, shey na banga. My sister no waste time again, my brother no waste time again. Just go buy Banga fresh palm fruit extract. They go know say you sabi cook and you be better cook.
Banga, come make your food yummy yum.
Distributors needed nationwide. Phone number 081 63 974447. 08035644436, 07066638213. Banga fresh palm.
Thanks for staying tuned. Even as we hit home stretch, let's talk about Shui Peng. As I was saying prior to that commercial break, Shui Peng granted an interview to L'Equipe, the French newspaper, and it's the first ever since the scandal, or the silencing, so to speak, of our concerns regarding sexual assault, among others. And once again, she denied making accusations of sexual assault against the former vice premier of China, Zhao Gaoli, who was the vice premier from 2013 to 2018. That's for those who do not understand, Zhao Gaoli is like your vice president. That's the way he is, or former now, because he's no longer the vice premier of China. So he's a close ally of the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and it just tells you the caliber of forces she's up against. But the WTA has raised concerns once again regards her safety and well-being, and this is because her life is seemingly now regulated. The interview she granted L'Equipe, the French newspaper, was permitted by the Chinese Olympic Committee, and that's after the Chinese Olympic Committee had reviewed the questions beforehand that she was to be asked. More importantly was that there was a Chinese Olympic Committee representative in the room even as the interview went on. So right about now, our freedom is what's of utmost concern to the WTA, and the Women's Tour Association has said that there are still concerns about her safety as well as her freedom being granted or given to her. And let's wrap up the show now with a bit of basketball, where the Phoenix Suns once again won. That's their 13th win in the last 14 games, as they increased their lead and at the standings of the Western Conference to 43 wins. And this time around, it was talisman Devin Booker who exploded with 38 points as the Suns were able to defeat the Chicago Bulls by 127 to 124 points. You also had the point guard known as Chris Paul contributing 19 points and 11 assists, even as the Suns are trying as much as possible to wrap up the top spot when it comes to the Western Conference. They're still leading the Golden State Warriors by 2 games, who also won yesterday at the wee hours of this morning, I beg your pardon, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Suns are in a very good run of form, and they'll be hoping to go a step better than they did last year when they lost the NBA Finals to Milwaukee Bucks. That's how much we can take on today's edition of the show. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the production crew for making this happen as well. Till the arena comes your way tomorrow, please do stay blessed and have a wonderful day.
Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Mother Earth, your one-stop destination for all things environmental sustainability. My name is Success Kemlis. You're welcome. If you're just tuning in, you are right on time. We're going to be talking about environmental issues as usual. Today we'll be focusing on water pollution and its effect on our environment in general. Doing this with me is our resource person. He is an environmentalist, amongst other things, Mr. Ido Sanao. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I often do not do justice to certain resource persons when it comes to the environment. I know that you people dabble into a lot of things, so I'm just going to allow you tell us what your specialty is.
Thank you. I have been into environment business for over 20 years now. As a scientist, I'm a product of Lagos State University. I read biochemistry. I did a lot of courses on environmental management, and I represent a company that is in foremost environmental consultancy firm in Europe, MacPress. My area of specialization is waste management and pollution control. Majorly, we have done studies on water pollution in Lagos for the World Bank, and that is industrial wastewater, including sewage sanitation for the World Bank. We have done for the Ecological Fund Office, Ministry of Environment, study for the industrial effluents in Lagos State too. And I happen to be the lead consultant on those two subjects. It's a project paid for by the World Bank and by the federal government of Nigeria. So the information on sources of water pollution in Lagos is at our fingerprint here.
Wow.
So
today we're talking about water pollution. They would agree with us that we have come to the right place.
Well, I think so.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we get the professional definition of water pollution?
Water pollution simply means when an object or a harmful object come in contact with source of water, be it groundwater, be it surface water, and be it well, lake. This harmful object may be in form of liquid, solid, and the harmful object too may be characterized in form of chemical or biological. So the result of it is when these foreign objects come in contact with water, they pollute the water to the extent that the water is now being harmful to human being and the environment.
Before you continue, sir, you said something about groundwater.
Yes.
And then you said surface water. Can you just differentiate for people out there